A $6,000 luxury bag can lose $2,000 in value before the first scratch appears. Another bag at the same price can be worn for years, sold later, and still make most of the money back. The difference is not always leather. Sometimes it is demand. Sometimes it is construction. Sometimes it is just the fact that one brand built a real handbag business and the other built a very expensive logo moment. Subscribe if you want luxury breakdowns based on materials, resale, and real cost per wear instead of brand hype. The test here is simple. A luxury bag has to do more than look expensive under boutique lighting. It needs a shape people still want after the trend cycle moves on. It needs leather, canvas, stitching, hardware, or repair support that helps explain the price. And if the bag costs more than a used car payment, the resale market should not treat it like last season's mistake. Number 7 on the never buy side is Balenciaga. Balenciaga is a perfect example of the difference between fashion impact and handbag value. The brand knows how to make people look. The hourglass bag has that curved base, sharp silhouette, and big B hardware. The Le Cagole had its moment because it captured the messy, early 2000s, oversized sunglasses attitude that came roaring back into fashion. But that is also the problem. A bag built around a very specific fashion mood can look powerful for 2 years and tired in year 3. That does not mean the leather is worthless or the design is lazy. It means the buyer is paying for cultural timing. And cultural timing is one of the most expensive things to buy at retail. When a bag depends on shock, irony, or a very loud shape, resale becomes less predictable. The next creative direction can make yesterday's signature look less important. The next viral trend can pull attention somewhere else. If you love the hourglass, buy it because you love wearing it. But do not confuse a strong runway image with a strong value case. The practical move is simple. If you want Balenciaga, look pre-owned first. Let someone else absorb the boutique markup. At the right secondhand price, it can be a fun fashion buy. At full retail, the math is much harder to defend. That same issue gets even sharper when a brand's bag business depends less on leather heritage and more on streetwear heat. Number 6 is Off-White. Off-White changed fashion because it understood attention. The zip ties, quotation marks, industrial straps, diagonal lines, and graphic branding all made the product instantly recognizable. That works very well on hoodies, sneakers, and limited collaborations, but luxury handbags are a different test. A bag has to survive the moment that made it cool. That is where Off-White becomes risky. Many Off-White bags are built around visual signals that tell you exactly when they were popular. The binder bag, the jitney, the bags with quote mark language, the bags with heavy industrial details, they can look interesting, but they do not have the same long handbag history as a Kelly, a Speedy, a Puzzle, or even a Celine Triomphe. Those older shapes have lived through different fashion moods. Off-White bags often feel tied to one very specific era of streetwear luxury. The material may be fine, the construction may be fine, but fine is not enough when the price is high. At luxury pricing, the bag needs either outstanding craft, strong resale demand, long-term design relevance, or daily usability. Off-White often gives you the loudest signal first. The value underneath is harder to prove. That does not mean nobody should buy one. If the design fits your personal style and you know you will wear it hard, that is a real reason. But as a luxury bag purchase, it is not where the money works hardest. The safer move is secondhand, and only at a price that already reflects the trend risk. Number 5 is Versace. Versace has one of the strongest visual identities in fashion. The Medusa head, the gold hardware, the Baroque patterns, the sharp black leather, the heavy glamour, you can spot the brand from across a room. But being recognizable is not the same as being a strong handbag buy. The problem with many Versace bags is that the branding does a huge part of the work. Look at pieces like the La Medusa or Greca Goddess. They are bold, polished, and expensive looking. But the value case depends heavily on whether you want that exact Versace attitude. If you remove the Medusa hardware, would the bag still feel like a $2,000 or $3,000 object? Sometimes yes, often not enough. That question matters because luxury bags are not just bought once. They are judged again every time someone tries to resell them. The strongest resale bags usually have a wider buyer pool. They work with more wardrobes. They feel less locked to one styling mood. Versace by design is not quiet. That is its strength on a runway and its weakness as a value purchase. The caveat is fair. Some Versace bags are well made, and if your wardrobe already leans glamorous, they can make sense. But retail is the danger zone. A discounted or pre-owned Versace bag can be a strong style buy. Full retail is where the price tag starts doing more storytelling than the garment. And once you see how much a metal logo can add to a price, the next brand becomes easier to judge. Number 4 is Valentino Garavani. Valentino makes beautiful things. That needs to be said first, because this is not about pretending the bags are cheap or poorly made. The issue is that many Valentino bags have leaned very hard on one recognizable idea: the stud, the logo, or the decorative hardware. The Rockstud is the clearest example. It was sharp, easy to spot, and genuinely influential. But when a design detail becomes that popular, it also starts a clock. At first, the studs feel fresh. Then they feel familiar. Then they start to mark a very specific fashion period. That is dangerous when the bag was bought at luxury retail pricing. The V-logo bags have a similar problem. They can look clean and polished, but the question is whether the bag itself is carrying the value or whether the hardware is doing most of the convincing. A strong luxury bag should still make sense when you imagine it without the most obvious brand signal. With too many Valentino bags, the answer gets shaky. This is why secondhand pricing often tells the truth more clearly than boutique lighting. A bag can sit under perfect light, surrounded by marble and perfume, and feel like a prize. Then it appears online later at a steep drop because buyers are choosing between dozens of similar logo bags. The product did not suddenly become worse, the market simply stripped away the romance. For Valentino, the smart move is patience. If you love the look, pre-owned is usually the cleaner decision. You get the same visual impact with less financial damage. At full retail, the value is harder to defend unless the specific bag is something you know you will carry for years. Number 3 is Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana is tricky because the bags can be visually rich. They can have embroidery, structured shapes, glossy leather, ornate handles, bright prints, and a very clear Italian glamour. But rich-looking details do not automatically create long-term value. Sometimes they create a bag that is expensive to buy and difficult to wear often. That is the first issue: styling range. Many Dolce & Gabbana bags are highly specific. They look good with the right dress, the right event, the right mood, the right amount of drama. But a luxury bag becomes easier to justify when it works across many outfits and many years. If a bag only makes sense on the most dressed up version of your life, the cost per wear gets ugly fast. The second issue is resale demand. Luxury resale rewards brands with strong, repeatable handbag icons. Hermes has the Birkin and Kelly. Louis Vuitton has the Speedy, Alma, Neverfull, and Pochette Métis. Chanel has the classic flap in 2.55. Dolce & Gabbana has recognizability, but not the same deep bench of bag shapes that buyers chase year after year. There is also reputation risk. When a brand's public image becomes complicated, resale confidence can soften. Buyers may still love individual pieces, but the wider market gets more selective. That matters when you are spending thousands. The caveat is that Dolce & Gabbana can be excellent if you are buying for drama, not value. A special occasion bag on sale or secondhand can make sense. But as a full retail luxury bag investment, the math does not work cleanly. The next name is more complicated. because some of its bags are genuinely useful, while others ask you to pay luxury prices for materials that need a much closer look. Number two is Prada trend bags. Prada is not a weak brand. That is exactly why this one needs nuance. Prada has real design history, real cultural influence, and some bags that absolutely deserve attention. The problem is not Prada as a whole. The problem is buying the wrong Prada bag at the wrong price because the triangle logo makes it feel safer than it is. The biggest trap is nylon. Prada's nylon story is important because the brand helped turn a practical, industrial-feeling material into luxury fashion. That idea was clever. But clever does not erase the buyer's question, how much of this price is material and how much is the logo? A nylon shoulder bag can be useful, light, and easy to wear. But when a simple nylon piece moves into serious luxury pricing, the value case gets thin unless the design, hardware, lining, and resale demand all support it. Nylon is not rare, it is not leather. It is not costly in the same way as a complex woven leather bag or a hand-finished structured top handle. The brand story is doing a lot of lifting. That does not mean every Prada nylon bag is a bad buy. If you wear it constantly, if it fits your life, and if you buy a classic shape at a sensible price, it can have strong cost per wear. The danger is the seasonal mini bag, the color that only works for 1 year, or the tiny logo piece that costs too much for how little bag you actually get. Prada leather bags also need sorting. The Galleria has a stronger case because it has structure, history, and a more traditional luxury bag identity. Some Clio styles have held attention well, but the trend pieces are where shoppers get caught. They see Prada and assume the resale market will protect them. It may not. The practical rule is this: buy Prada for function, shape, and use, not just the triangle. If the material feels ordinary and the design depends on being hot right now, wait for resale. Number one on the never buy side is Dior at full retail, especially trend or fabric heavy styles. Dior is the hardest name on this side because the brand has real icons. The Lady Dior is not some random logo bag. It has a structured shape, canage stitching, metal charms, and a history that many buyers understand. A good Lady Dior can be elegant for decades. But that does not make every Dior bag a smart purchase at full retail. Current Dior pricing puts many Lady Dior styles around the $6,000 to $7,000 range, depending on size and material. The book tote often sits around the mid $3,000 range for mini versions. At those prices, the buyer has to ask a blunt question: how much of this is leather, construction, and daily durability, and how much is Dior selling the dream of Dior? That question gets especially important with fabric-heavy bags. An embroidered tote can be beautiful, but embroidery and brand pattern are not the same as a leather bag built for long-term wear. Fabric can stain, corners can show use, light colors can age badly, and when a tote costs thousands, be careful with it is not a small caveat. It changes how useful the bag actually is. The resale market also separates Dior more than the boutique does. Core Lady Dior styles may hold better than seasonal bags, but many Dior pieces still drop hard compared with the strongest Hermès, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton classics. That does not mean Dior is bad. It means full retail leaves less room for error. So the rule is not never own Dior. The rule is never buy the wrong Dior blindly at full retail. If you want the Lady Dior, choose a classic size, practical leather, and a color that will still make sense in 10 years. If you want a book tote, understand that you are buying a branded textile statement, not the strongest durability case in luxury handbags. That is the full warning side. The pattern is clear now. When the price depends too much on trend, hardware, logo, or boutique emotion, the buyer carries the risk. The worth it side starts where the product, the market, and the long-term use begin to line up. Before you buy any luxury bag, ask 5 simple questions. First, does the material explain part of the price? Not all expensive materials are equal. Full grain leather, structured calfskin, woven leather, durable coated canvas, and hand finished details can give you a real reason for the number on the tag. A thin fabric tote with a famous pattern may still be beautiful, but it needs to be judged honestly. The logo changed, the fabric did not. Second, does the construction have a real signature, or is the bag mostly hardware and branding? Bottega's woven leather is a construction identity. Loewe's puzzle shape is design engineering. Louis Vuitton's coated canvas classics are built around daily durability. But when the main feature is one big logo plate, one trendy shape, or one seasonal color, the value gets weaker. Third, can the bag survive normal life? A luxury bag that costs thousands should not feel impossible to use. If rain, denim transfer, corner wear, scratches, or fabric stains make you afraid to carry it, the cost per wear starts climbing fast. Fourth, is there resale demand after the trend fades? This is where the market tells the truth. If buyers still search for the same shape 5 or 10 years later, the bag has real staying power. If demand depends on one celebrity photo or one viral season, the risk is sitting with you. Fifth, would you still want it if the logo disappeared? That is the question most luxury marketing does not want you to ask. Because once the logo is gone, you are left with shape, material, hardware, proportion, comfort, and usefulness. That is where the better bags separate themselves. The worst luxury bag purchase is not always the loudest one. It is the one where the price tag is selling permanence, but the bag is really selling a moment. And the best purchase is not automatically the most expensive one. It is the bag where the leather, canvas, construction, repairability, resale demand, and daily use all tell the same story. So if you are buying luxury, slow the decision down, check the material, check the stitching, check resale, check whether the bag fits your real life, not just the boutique mirror. A bag that looks impressive for 10 minutes is not the same as a bag that earns its place for 10 years. Now tell me this, which luxury bag brand do you think is the most overrated and which one has actually held up for you? Drop both names in the comments. Subscribe for more fashion value breakdowns that follow the money, not the marketing.